Kosofsky, the NDP critic for Municipal Affairs. Mr. Kosofsky, welcome to Alberta Primetime.
Thanks for having me on today.
All right, so what's your understanding of the degree to which the minister has consulted with municipalities since promising amendments? Have you heard directly from municipal politicians?
I have. There hasn't been any consultation since the announcement last week when they were backpedaling on this bill that's come forward. So they said there was going to be consultation. There's been, at best, I guess, discussions, in-person meetings, ad hoc meetings with the minister and mayors and municipal leaders, but there has been no consultation on amendments, no discussion about what would be in amendments and how you would change this Bill 20 so that it would be something that would protect our democracy instead of something that actually trashes our democracy.
How likely are amendments in the near term to answer to the degree of concern that is being raised over the reach of some of these changes represented in the bill? Is it a matter of clarifying terms, working on language, terminology the Premier put it in responding to reporters?
Yeah, I think anytime a government takes power and gives it to cabinet and premier, which those are privileged meetings, they're made away from the public. So they're not something that the public can review and hold the government accountable for, except for at election time. And so anytime you're going to take parts of our democracy and put it into secrecy, I don't know how you change the bill so that it gets people's fears away, because you're not eliminating that power. They're just hoping to define it a little better about when they would execute and use that massive power. There already exist in place processes for public investigation into municipal councillors, and it's hard and it's difficult and it should be, because municipal councillors are elected by us and we want them to do the job that they're elected to do. And we don't want them, always looking to the provincial government to say, is it okay if I do this? We want them to look to us, and we want them looking to our communities to ask, voters, is it okay if I do this? Is this what you elected me to do? And we don't want the cabinet to have this sweeping power so that they can fire municipal councillors and change the bylaws and decisions they make for their communities.
Okay, so in terms of that power being concentrated with cabinet, whether the firing of an elected representative or a bylaw being killed, how do you see such landing in front of cabinet in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know why this legislation's in front of us. I don't know why the government is focused on this. Alberta has a lot of things to work on. We had an election less than a year ago, and we heard loud and clear, we want people to work on rural health care. Get us doctors and nurses so that we can staff our hospitals in rural communities. We've got to work on maintaining a good public education system. We've got people that are having trouble affording life in Alberta, and housing is becoming less affordable for people in Alberta, and not everybody has a house. These are things that the government should be working on. I don't know why they've brought forward what is actually their largest piece of legislation, so something they've obviously put thought into, but it's not what is a priority for Albertans. So I don't know why we're actually dealing with this legislation.
Okay, your party calling for the bill to be scrapped, but if the government stays the course, what tools do you have at your disposal? How far are you willing to take opposition?
Yeah, like my colleagues and I, we want to have reasoned debate in the legislature. That's what we were elected to do. And so we're going to be asking for this to be sent to the shredder, because as a whole, there's no small adjustments that can be made to this bill that is going to make it okay. This is a transformational bill that will change democracy in Alberta, and it's going to change the way municipal governments work. There are councillors and reeves in Alberta that have already said, why don't the Premier cabinet just take the keys and they can do the job? We're going to keep asking for this to be removed from the legislature, to send it back to committee, do the consultation that needs to be done with municipalities so they can keep doing the good work they do for Albertans.
Okay, just I guess less than 4 weeks left now in the sessional calendar. On that point of sending it to committee, what does that accomplish? Is that purely a means of delaying discussions?
Yeah, within the legislature, the government has the majority of votes, and if they all stick together on this, then this will pass. So the best thing we can do is ask them to send this to committee. We can ask them to remove it. We can ask them to pull it from the legislature. They have that ability. So that's what we'll continue to ask until the end of this sitting of the legislature.
So whether it's Bill 18 or Bill 20, as we're discussing here, how easily repaired or strained relations with municipalities?
They I mean, they're talking, they're being very vocal. And so I think they're very worried about what their role is in the future of this province, because this bill will change the jobs of mayors and councillors and reeves across this province.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for time. Appreciate your time this evening, Mr. Kososki. Thank you kindly.
Thanks, Michael.
Kyle Kososki is NDP critic for Municipal Affairs.